Absolutely, and I think that's a perfect way to start because this time of year is social media beef season, and Malik Nabers is already maybe even growing fonder among Giants fans because he mentioned Trevon Diggs and the matchup going against him in the regular season. Let's start. Let's break down what it is that he said and your reaction to that.
Yeah, I mean, he essentially just said if there's anybody that he wants to face off against this year, any matchup that he's most excited about, it's Trayvon Diggs and the Dallas Cowboys. And Trayvon Diggs, I guess, saw that, didn't like it too much, said something about how the Giants have been getting beat up for years now, took shot at the Giants, and Malik Nabers responded with some pretty interesting rap lyrics taking aim at Trayvon Diggs. So they've kind of just been exchanging these messages at one another through social media. And it's been pretty fun to watch it unfold and definitely adding more excitement and more intrigue to week 4, Giants versus Cowboys, those two having their first matchup of their careers.
Yeah, Giants Cowboys is always a big one, no matter where either one of the teams are in the standings. Like the rivalry games, especially in the NFC East, as we know, really means a lot. And this guy hasn't played an NFL snap yet for the Giants, but for Giants fans, they're very excited about drafting him. And now, even more excited about his prospects, as he mentions a Dallas Cowboy by name. And I texted you when we were talking about topics for today, and I said I think you're gonna like my Trayvon Diggs take, but would you like to hear my Trayvon Diggs opinion?
I'm ready.
Okay, he might be the most overrated player in the NFL. Trayvon Diggs. I think he gets way too much hype. Now, maybe actually I take that back. Maybe in like 2021, he probably had that title, but now his own teammate in that same positional group, Deron Bland, might also be in the mix there too. So the Cowboys might have two of the most overrated corners. Yes, he got a lot of interceptions a few years ago, but he was also getting cooked in coverage. Gave up over 1,000 receiving yards in 2021, and then 695 and 5 touchdowns in 2022. So big name. He gets a lot of interceptions, which is fun, but he also gets picked on a lot in coverage. So my take, Trayvon Diggs, overrated. How about that?
I have no disagreement with you. I have thought that Trayvon Diggs is one of the most overrated players in the NFL for years. Yes, he gets the interceptions, but he also gets burnt like toast on many occasions. Like this guy does not stick in man coverage with the best wide receivers in the NFL. I've always felt that way. I feel like the Cowboys often like to put Trayvon Diggs on an island, and oftentimes receivers blow right by him for deep touchdown grabs. I like when Trayvon Diggs is one on one with the Giants' best receiver. I think that's a winning matchup for most wide receivers, number one wide receivers in the NFL. And listen, Trayvon Diggs, he does what he does well. Like he can sit in his zone and he can be a little bit of a pick merchant, and that is definitely valuable for the Cowboys. But when he's really got to face off against top corner or top wide receivers in the NFL, I think that you take the top wide receiver over Trayvon Diggs nearly every single time. And so I'll have my popcorn ready. Week 4, Neighbors versus Diggs. I can't wait for it, and I think that Malik Neighbors and his route running ability, his explosiveness and speed, it's a tough matchup for Trayvon Diggs, even if we are talking about a rookie versus a veteran.
Yeah, it is gonna be interesting to see those two guys go at it. I think Malik Neighbors has the chance to have a really big game against him. Unfortunately, it's going to come down to if the Giants quarterback's going to be able to distribute the football. But would not surprise me if we see a couple big plays. Maybe he doesn't end up with like I don't know, maybe we don't see like 7 catches for 150 yards, but maybe he catches like 4 or 5 balls and 2 of them are like big plays so that receiving yards total looks a little bit higher than what it actually is. But I agree with you. I like the matchup for Neighbors, who is a route running technician. It's really going to come down to if the Giants are going to be able to distribute the football.
I mean, that's really what the whole Giants season rests upon is the shoulders of Daniel Jones and whether or not he can get the ball out to the wide receivers. Because I have no doubts Malik Neighbors is going to be open, especially against a guy like Trayvon Diggs, who again I think struggles really badly in man coverage against top route runners. So Neighbors is going to be open all season long. He should be going for over 1,000 yards, maybe even 1,200 yards. Like I think that he should have one of those dominant rookie campaigns because of how much talent he possesses. However, it's just going to depend on how much he gets the ball. How often can Daniel Jones get it to him? How accurately can Daniel Jones get it to him? And not to just pile on Daniel Jones, it also does depend on the ball getting there in terms of him having pass protection. Is the offensive line going to be good enough for Daniel Jones? And the play calling duties, are they going to be given to Brian Dable? Is Kafka going to continue? Are the right plays being called? So while we do rag on Daniel Jones, and for good reason, because he has not proven to be some star quarterback in this league, I do think that it is fair to mention that Neighbors does need to get the ball a lot this year, and Daniel Jones throwing the ball accurately is going to be a big part of that. But there are factors in play that could hold back or propel Daniel Jones this season as well.
Now, are you gonna put any scratch on Malik Nabers Rookie of the Year odds? I think I saw around 1,400 or plus 1,400 for him, which is behind McCarthy, Daniels, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Caleb Williams, who's the favorite at like plus 210. I don't know how old these odds are, but this is what I found on Vegas Insider.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely throwing something on it. I'm not really a big time bettor. I don't throw a lot of money down, but I'll put a few bucks on that one because I think that Malik Neighbors with that high of odds is a little bit ridiculous. I mean, he's in the Big Apple spotlight. He's super talented and he's going to have an ability to transform a Giants offense. Like optically, if he has a great year, it's just all of the excitement that's going to generate around him and the Giants is going to be massive. So I definitely think Malik Neighbors has a very solid chance of making or of winning the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. And I think that the odds for him are a little too low.
I agree with you. I think they are lower, and maybe this might make you feel a little bit better. Garrett Wilson won it a couple years ago and had Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, and Mike White throwing him the football. So, like, I know we talk a lot about the Giants quarterback room and how we're not super high on it, but just a couple years ago, Garrett Wilson won it, putting up 1,100 yards with a few quarterbacks who are probably not very good, unfortunately. So it's not impossible for a wide receiver to win it if they don't have a good quarterback.